Hey guys, the Super Review Show for an episode of Why You Should Watch. This is the show where I break down TV shows and movies that have very maybe cultural significance, or they're just that good. You should definitely just check them out no matter what. Here I am today talking about one of the most pioneering shows of the 1980s, Knight Rider. Knight Rider. Now, for those of you who are saying, all right, I've heard of this guy, I've heard of this show, whatever. I don't really know much about it. But those of you who do know what I'm talking about, good for you. Knight Rider is a show that was in the 1980s. I don't remember the exact years off the top of my head, but I do know that it was in the 80s. And it was kind of like a sci-fi action show where the car talked to people. And the guy driving the car, it was kind of like a crime show at the same time. Kind of like a superhero thing with a car. It was definitely really unique of its time, and it definitely was a product of its time, though. I mean, people try to imitate that car so much. People, hardcore fans of 80s and 90s shows and movies with iconic cars, whatever, will literally rebuild this car from start to finish. I've seen it online. I've seen it on Facebook, whatever, right? It's crazy. There was a report. Now, the show has had David Hasselhoff in it. But for a second, I just want to shed some light on something for a second. There was talk at one point of a movie being a rebooted franchise for Knight Rider. But apparently, the story of it, like, for those who don't know, I'm a huge fan of John Campea on YouTube. John Campea, you are awesome. I love you. When he was on AMC Movie Talk, not Collider, when he was on AMC back in 2013, 14, a question came in and said, hey, would we ever see a Knight Rider movie? And they actually gave an idea. One of the panelists on there, his name was John Schnepp. Schnepp, we love you. We miss you. You're incredible. Forever in our hearts. For those who don't know about that, look it up. He said, whoa, imagine if they made a comedy spoof of Knight Rider. Imagine they made a comedy spoof of Knight Rider. You know, going around and swearing at people with, like, Kevin Hart driving the car instead, right? And, like, it made, like, a buddy cop type thing. And they were laughing about it, whatever. And sure enough, someone actually heard them and said, hey, a report came out, like, the next day or the 2 days later, whatever. And they reported on it and said, a Knight Rider movie is in the works. And they're talking about doing a movie about similar to what Schnepp was saying. So some studio executive heard him. Now, has there been any movement since then? It's been 10 years since I saw that video on YouTube. Do I think it could happen? I think it's an IP property. It's pretty popular still. You could probably do it and have curse at people still. In that premise of, like, the buddy cop thing with it, you could do that. It all depends on what they want to do, but I'm just talking about the TV show now. But back to the TV show. The TV show itself, though, was, unless I think 2 or 3 seasons. I don't remember how many species. I think it was 2 or 3. I could be wrong. And it was very fans loved it. People were like, oh, Knight Rider, you know, a kit car, the car Kit, K-I-T-T, Kit. You know, it was a show of its time, but I would love to see a reboot of it. I would love to see another studio executive be like, hey, remember Knight Rider? Yeah. Let's see if we can redo that. Like a buddy cop thing with Kevin Hart and Ice-T, and Ice Cube has got to be in it too from Law and Order. That would be pretty funny. And just make it like a buddy cop thing with Kevin Hart, like, cursing at people, and, like, Knight Rider's like, hey, get out, you know, F you, whatever. You know, that'd be pretty cool, in my opinion. But it's all based on the show, though, from the 80s. So, bottom line, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, good for you. If you haven't seen the show, get on it, though. I mean, I'm not sure where you can stream it. I'm not sure where you can watch it, but I'm pretty sure you're able to just view it it's on Cozy TV or, like, Heroes and Icons TV on cable. But if you want to stream it, I'm not sure specifically where you can. But it is a really funny, it's a really cool show, though. I mean, it was the opening, the intro was really iconic as well, too. But what do you guys think? Have you heard of Knight Rider? Jump down in the comment section below, share your thoughts on love of Knight Rider. And have you heard anything about the movie that was possibly announced or suggested at one point? If you've heard anything out there, I'd love to actually hear what you guys have to say as well. Jump down in the comment section below, share your thoughts on if you've heard anything as well about Knight Rider, because I would go see the Knight Rider movie, of course. But anyways, I digress. What do you guys think? Jump down in the comment section below, share your thoughts on this video as well. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages as well, simply at The Super Review Show. But for all of your why you should watch videos and many more, keep it locked on The Super Review Show. The J-Man is off to rock. We'll see you guys later.